Hey guys, it's Becky with the good hair coming to you with another video about politics. And this is going to be me reacting to mostly mean comments. So where this all comes from is a tweet that I had posted a few days ago, and I was talking about gun control because that's a huge issue. I mean, it really has been for the past several decades because in America we've been dealing with insane gun violence for the past several decades, but it feels like it's kind of coming to a head now with the shooting in Florida and the Parkland high school students who are in the public eye right now, and they organized the March for Our Lives to raise awareness about gun violence and trying to push our politicians to finally do something about gun control and stop taking NRA money, which is a huge problem and is a huge factor in why nothing is done legislatively. And I posted a tweet in relation to all of this, and a Facebook page called Millennials For Revolution ended up sharing my tweet, and it got a lot of shares that I've never had that happen before, where it just was like, what is happening? So with all of the shares and likes and everything, it also got hundreds of comments, and so many of them were just crazy. I mean, it was a lot of haters, people who are just insanely against any form of gun control and think, that I'm coming for their guns or whatever. And so I just wanted to have a little fun and read some of the comments that were my favorites and maybe respond to a few of them. So first of all, I'm going to read my tweet, and then I just kind of want to explain a little bit. It feels like it's self-explanatory, but so many people I saw in the comments just didn't really seem to understand quite what I meant, I guess, or they misinterpreted what I was saying. And so I just want to read it for you, kind of explain my side, and then we'll get into it. So the tweet reads, "For all the people who scream, it's mental health, not guns. I assume you're fighting every day for universal health care and raising awareness to end the stigma and myths about mental illness. Oh, you're using it as an excuse to not talk about guns? You suck." Okay, so I know some comments were like, oh, she's being so mean, and I don't like the way she's speaking, blah, blah, blah. And, okay, this is just a little snapshot, just a tweet from my entire Twitter feed of, thousands of tweets. So Twitter is a social platform. It's not my blog. I'm not writing these eloquent blog posts with citations and research about gun violence and gun control and things like that. It's just a snappy tweet. I was a little snarky. I was trying to be a little funny, maybe. And that's kind of the game on social media sometimes. Sometimes the things that catch people's eye and maybe raise, their awareness. Sometimes it's just snappy messages like that. So I don't really see why it's such a big deal with the way I worded it. People seem to be like, oh my God, she wrote you suck. Oh no, that's terrible. It's not literally like, oh, you're a terrible person. Obviously, it's more in jest. And then people also seem to not really understand that when I say, it's meant, kind of getting on people for trying to deflect away from guns. They're like, so is she saying it's not mental health at all and it's only guns? No, I'm not saying that in this tweet at all. I'm saying, obviously, it has to be a nuanced conversation, but I'm saying that we have to talk about guns. You can't just say, oh, it's mental health, when you don't really, because the people who do this, the people who say it's mental health, it's not guns, those particular people wouldn't talk about mental health anyway. They wouldn't be like, oh, since it's mental health, we need to fund universal health, we need universal health care in this country. We need to start educating people from a young age about mental health and mental illness, what it is it, if it isn't. We need to, destigmatize mental illness as a whole, nationwide and around the world. We need to make people feel like they can get help. We need to raise awareness about it. That's not what these people are doing. What they're doing is, shh, don't talk about guns, mental health. They're crazy. So what they're doing is they're perpetuating stigma, and they're trying to stigmatize people who have mental illness issues, and they're trying to say, oh, it's just a mental health issue. That's what it is. But what you're doing is you're stigmatizing people who do have mental illnesses, and you're trying to say, oh, you know what? People who have mental illnesses, they might be potential criminals. They might be potential mass shooters or people who are going to, kill their families. And that's stigmatizing mental illness because it's a myth. It's not true. It's not even common for people with mental illness to be outwardly violent like that. So it's just causing more problems than helping by just saying it's mental health. It's not guns. You're not doing anybody any favors. You're not doing this country any favors. So I just want to say that right off the bat. And then people also, were up in arms about the whole universal health care thing. And they're like, universal health care won't solve anything. Well, yeah, it would, because we would have, mental health care more readily available, and it would bring the costs down for people, for therapy, for medication, for hospitalization if they need hospitalization, if they need inpatient treatment for addiction or eating disorder treatment or alcohol treatment. So it would bring costs of everything down. So yes, it would actually help, because a lot of the time people don't get help for mental illness because they can't afford it. It could be hundreds of thousands of dollars for, depending on what you need. If you need hospitalization, if you need inpatient, which you could be inpatient for months. So universal health care would bring costs of everything down, and that would help millions of people. So we'll just start off with that, and then I'm gonna get into the mean comments. So the first one's pretty fun. So this guy said in response to my tweet, from the looks of her, I will wager that she is one who sucks. Probably expensive. At least $1, maybe more. I wonder what he meant. And it's also interesting because he said from the looks of her, and in the photo that I had at the time of my Twitter profile, it was just a picture of me, and I was wearing a turtleneck dress, black turtleneck dress. So all that was showing that was skin was my face. And my hair was down, it was long curls or whatever, and I was wearing red lipstick. So maybe it was the red lipstick that made me look like a prostitute who would charge $1, which in his mind was expensive. So he had a wonderful, concrete argument. Great. Okay, moving on. So someone else wrote, LOL, Becky would say this. Sheep emoji. I'm a sheep. All right. Next one. Shut up, Becky. No, I won't shut up. Sorry. Next one says, is that Becky with the bad hair? Oh, that hurts. Gets me right here. Dang. That's mean. And then this next one is, these next couple are going to be actually tweets, and they're pretty funny. So this guy, he writes in, the shorthand, where instead of writing the word you, he writes the letter U and things like that. So it was pretty funny. He wrote, you staying informed is really going to change the world, Becky. Please keep it going. I bet you feel diff on border restriction when far more illegals kill Americans than our own people. Ya lefty. I ain't R or D. I just know a jokester when I see it. Take care, Becky. LMAO, your name's fucking Becky. It is. Congratulations for knowing my name. Then he wrote... because he was mad at me. He wrote, Becky, if I had the amount of time your forehead extends, I would fully type the extra 2 letters, because I got on him about writing like a 12-year-old. But I ain't here for that. That's an essay above your eyebrows, kid. Stop it. Ooh, ouch. No one's ever made fun of my forehead before. And then he ended up apologizing, and he wrote, and honestly, my last tweet was kind of rude. You're pretty good looking, and I wouldn't have dragged that in the mix. Take care, kiddo. Take care of yourself. Thanks for making fun of my forehead. So rude. And then now this is back to the Facebook post. So someone wrote, this post is garbage. This page is usually better than this. Thanks. My post is garbage. You're welcome. And then another one writes in all caps, idiot. Let me guess. Voted for Hillary in your 20s or 30s? Figures. I am in my 20s, but no, I didn't vote for Hillary. I voted for Bernie and Jill Stein. So wrong. Wrong. Nice try, though. Nice try. And then the comment below that says, apparently the person who posted this is mentally ill too. Laughing face. Thanks. No, I just like to tweet and make people mad, apparently. And then another one says, if most of the shooters are mentally unhinged, why would I fight to end the stigma of mental health? They deserve to be stigmatized. Okay, mentally ill people are not all mass shooters. So you should want to end stigma of mental health, because you're saying that millions of people are all going to potentially commit mass shootings or just be violent in general, which is not the case. So you're kind of wrong, and you don't seem to know anything about mental health. So yeah, moving on. Someone wrote, check your hypocrisy, Becky. I like how they just use my name as if it's like an insult. Abortion clinics have killed more kids in the last 40 years than any school shootings ever could have. So don't pretend to care about children's lives unless you're protesting Roe v. Wade as well. That has absolutely nothing to do with mass shootings and killing people. So moving on. Someone wrote, universal health care doesn't work. Well, we don't have it, so I don't know how you know that, because you're American. And let's maybe check Western Europe and see how they're doing. And also, it's really interesting because each country can do universal health care in different ways, depending on how they want to do it. It's brilliant, amazing, oh my God. And then someone said, yes, I do fight for better health care. I will also fight for my rights to own a gun. I never said I don't want you to own a gun. If you're a law-abiding citizen, sure, I never said I was taking your right to own a gun away. Someone said, universal health care, you got jokes. Haha, yeah, I do got jokes. But universal health care is something that is in many countries around the world. So are you calling all of them a joke? I guess so. Someone said, don't tell me what to do. Damn commies always trying to run people's minds. I'm not a commie, but nice try. Someone said, hi, Becky, no, you suck. You spelled my name wrong. He didn't even capitalize it, number one, and then he wrote Beckey. My name is in the tweet, like right above where he's typing. It's not that hard. That is so sad. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna insult somebody, you gotta learn how to spell. Another one said, God, is she dumb? And he spelled it D-U-M. Dumb. Ooh, that is sad. That is sad. And then another person wrote, the left are the ones normalizing mental illness rather than treating it. Laughing face. Guess what? If someone isn't rational, you're not supposed to give in to their delusions. Okay. we're trying, not the left, but people are trying to destigmatize mental illness because you're stigmatizing it right now. And you're saying that everyone with a mental illness has delusions. Not every mental illness deals with delusions. Depression and anxiety, you think those people are delusional? Delusions doesn't always mean mentally ill. There are many types of mental illnesses that don't always deal with delusions. But nice way to throw around the word delusion and continue the stigma of mental illness. Congratulations. And then the last one is a little bit longer. So this person is referring to the page that shared my tweet, and the page was Millennials for Revolution. And so this person said, the name of the organization and the person's use of hostile language leaves little room for discussion. The tone gives the impression that a stance other than the one expressed is a betrayal of her revolution. I lived through the riots of the 60s, inciting enthusiasm for your cause through vitriolic rhetoric. I feel her passion and determination. If she is self-motivated and not underwritten by a larger organization, I would advise toning down the abusive language so as not to turn off the dialogue. And then someone responded to her and wrote, I agree, her rhetoric is inflammatory. Okay, I've got a couple things with this. Number one, she's saying that my tone is saying that like no one can agree with my revolution. Revolution is the name of the page that shared my tweet. I didn't write anything in the tweet about revolution, and I'm not connected to Millennials for Revolution at all. It was just a coincidence that they shared my tweet. So that whole paragraph is wrong about the revolution and everything. And I don't know what's hostile about my language. You suck, I am assuming, is what they mean when they're talking about my language being inflammatory and hostile. I didn't name call anybody, I just said you suck. And it was more of a joke, saying like, you know, but people who perpetuate stigma and don't want to talk about gun violence do suck. So I stand by my statement. And she's also talking about the 60s and how their rhetoric was vitriolic. Well, in the 60s, people were fighting for equal rights. They were fighting against the Vietnam War, and they were fighting for women's rights. So either you're saying that you think that fighting for those things was wrong, or you think that the way they fought for them was wrong. But whatever you mean, I think that's kind of questionable because those movements were successful in the end. I mean, we learn about them today, and we have more rights now than we did back then. So I don't know why you have a problem with the movements that were in the 60s. It's a little questionable and kind of concerning that you're admitting that. But good for you. And thank you for kind of twisting my whole tweet and making it seem like I was trying to start a revolution or something. Yeah, that wasn't me. That was just the page that shared it. So that is all I'm going to share today. And I will leave a link below. I'll share that Facebook post below. And I'll also post, I'll share below in the description links to my social media, my Twitter. Come follow me on my Twitter, read my blog, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.